Looking for a great way to spend the day on Cozumel? In this video, I will share the day I visited Discover Mexico Park on Cozumel. You just gotta go. Hi, I'm Kip Piper with Travels with Kip, where I show women how to travel solo at any age by sharing my videos, travel hacks, and reviews. Please be sure to like, comment, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Since travel is currently restricted because of COVID-19, I'm reaching back into my travel archives. In December 2019, I spent a week on Cozumel, where I visited my friend Hannah, who owns a bed and breakfast there. Be sure to watch the end of this video for a link to her fabulous bed and breakfast. Once there, I asked Hannah about things to do on the island. She suggested Discover Mexico Park. So I looked it up and I really liked the way it sounded. I decided to take the Mexican Flavors Tour, which is a 4.5-hour experience. It includes making your own chocolate, a walk through the historical botanical garden with a fresh made margarita, then a tequila tasting and a taco bar, plus much more. It covered the whole enchilada. See what I did there? So I was ready to start my day learning more about Mexico. I took a taxi from Hannah's bed and breakfast to the park. Taxis are the best way to get around the island, and they're quite inexpensive. The tour started at 10 a.m. Once arrived, I was greeted by my guide for the day, Giancarlo. Just call me John, a lovely and most knowledgeable young man. We were joined by two nice women from a cruise ship docked in town for the day. First stop was the chocolate factory. As we entered, we were presented with chocolate margaritas at 10 a.m. They were absolutely delicious, the perfect way to start the tour. As we sipped our chocolate margaritas, John told us the history of chocolate. Next, we were served traditional Mexican hot chocolate in a small mug. No sugar, just chocolate and hot water. Delicioso, and the perfect segue to make our own chocolate. We moved to large tables where there were hand crank grinders. In pairs, John was my partner. One person worked the hand crank grinder while the other gathered the ground beans in their hands and continuously massaged the ground beans into a paste. I had to keep massaging the paste to keep it warm so it would pull together. And then John added some sugar to the paste. That's why we had to keep vigorously massaging to keep the paste warm so it all incorporate. And finally, he added some vanilla extract. Once we were done, we pressed our paste into round molds, and then they were taken off to set up. While we waited, we snacked on fresh mole sauce and fresh cinnamon sugar flour tortilla chips. Oh my goodness, it was divine. I've had mole a few times, both in Mexico and in the States. I've had good mole and I've had some not so good mole, but it really is a matter of personal taste. Just like with salsa, there are a gazillion family recipes for mole, so you just have to find one that works for you. This mole was perfect, at least for me, and John gave us the simple recipe. 1 part Doña Maria mole sauce and 1 12-ounce bag melted semi-sweet chocolate chips. Of course, you can choose dark or milk chocolate chips, depending on your taste. Try it as an appetizer at your next party or potluck. When our chocolate discs were set, we removed them from the molds and carefully wrapped them in special wrappers that listed the ingredients, which made them then acceptable for customs. John said each disc would make about 3 cups of hot chocolate. So what did I do? I took mine back to the B&B and made hot chocolate the next 3 mornings. I took 1/3 of the disc and mixed it in with hot water. And John was right, it was delicious. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. Next on our tour was a walk through the botanical garden, where scale models of ancient temples and buildings have been set up. As we walked through the garden, John told us the history of the early Indian cultures. There is so much information that I cannot begin to tell you all of it. At least you can enjoy a few photos of the models. We next stopped at their margarita bar, where we enjoyed fresh Starfruit margaritas. They were so refreshing. The bar has a spectacular selection of handmade margarita glasses available for purchase. And John told us his recipe for the perfect margarita: equal parts of silver tequila, orange liqueur like Grand Marnier or Cointreau, fresh squeezed lime juice, and simple syrup. After that, you can add whatever fruits or herbs you desire. We then walked the rest of the botanical garden, which took us through the modern history of Mexico, as illustrated with more scale models of contemporary buildings and communities. Well, contemporary compared to the ancient Indian cultures. The depth and richness of this country's history is fascinating. As we were making our way to the tequila tasting room, John could hear the music from the Mayan ceremony. So we scooted over there, and what we observed is called the Danza de los Volodardes, or the Dance of the Flyers, and is an ancient Mesoamerican ceremony. The men climbed to the top of this very tall pole. I swear it was like at least 80 feet high. They tie ropes to their ankles, they launch themselves off the pole, and then slowly descend, twirling themselves and going around the pole, while one man stays at the top playing a flute with Mayan music. It was beautiful, enchanting, mysterious, and just breathtaking. Here's a video excerpt. Here's my question of the day. Have you been to Mexico? If so, where have you been and what did you like best? If you haven't been to Mexico, where would you like to go? Let me know in the comments below. The tequila tasting room was calling us. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so you're notified when I post new videos. Sponsored by Jose Cuervo, in the tasting room we learned the history of tequila. There's so much more to tequila than I ever realized. In 1795, King Carlos IV gave Jose Cuervo the first license to produce and distribute tequila. From there, the company has grown to what it is today. Did you know that shooting tequila is an American invention? The proper way to enjoy straight tequila is by sipping it. Check out my video where I demonstrate how to properly sip tequila and never get drunk. The link to that video is at the end of this video. After all that tequila, let's see, there was the chocolate margarita when we first got there. Then there was the Starfruit margarita. And then there was a couple little tastings and samplings as we were wandering around. And then the tequila tasting. You would think we'd be smashed, but they've done a beautiful job of pacing it so that there's activity between each time we enjoy our tequila. That keeps us socially acceptable. Finally, we made our way to the taco buffet. The little lady behind the buffet was hand making corn tortillas and cooking them right on the spot. They were perfect. They were just the right size, just little guys. I've tried making tortillas and mine never come out good. So very impressive how well she did this. And she was just cranking them out. We had both beef and pork tacos cooked the traditional Mayan way. They were simply meat and corn tortillas with our choice of either 2 red salsas or 1 green salsa, from mild to very spicy. These tacos were amazingly delicious. The buffet also had a variety of sides like rice and beans and veggies. One veggie dish was cactus sauteed with onions. It was so tasty. Cactus has a very mild taste. To me, it's like a mild squash. Our next stop was the art museum. They have spectacular examples of old and modern Mexican art. Here are just a few of the items of many in the museum. This piece was made by hand with fine sand of different colors. The technique used for painting this bird was quite unique. In regular light, the bird looks like this, but under a camera flash, the bird changes to this. Our final stop was the gift shop, which has a beautiful selection and a wide variety of items to choose from for every budget. Everything from beautiful and hand-embroidered clothing to Talavera dishware, to Mexican glassware, to Christmas ornaments, to magnets, to just some jewelry, just beautiful stuff. And many of the items are only available at that gift shop, nowhere else. The selection in the gift shop was just lovely and everything was beautifully made. So ended my happy, fun day at Discover Mexico Park on Cozumel. Oh, and I promised a link to my friend Hannah's bed and breakfast. It's called Baldwin's Guesthouse, and it's been ranked in the top 25 B&Bs in all of Mexico by TripAdvisor for 2 years in a row. So be sure to check it out. Remember, adventure is just around the corner, so get out there and find it. Thanks for watching.